Alright guys, I'm gonna do a quick run through on Swiss custody again, just because it's been hard, it's been difficult, I guess you can say, to really pin down on the legitimacy of these tokens that they have on Lobster. But I think I may have found the information that basically seals the deal for us, right? So here, let me just dive straight into it. So this right here that you're looking at is basically the TOML file I was able to pull up on Swiss custody's domain, but this is from maybe about a month or 2 months ago, right? I have it saved in my files, but as you can see here, so this was already something that I had already gone through a couple times. Let me get a pen. Right, so I had already pretty much gone through the kind of all this stuff right here, right? Okay, so this was basically the it shows you here that they're tied into a server at an endpoint, which is the Anchor USD API, right? So they're set up to be, from the start, they're set up to be, I guess you can say almost like, I think Whiplash said it best, which was, it's more of like, it's looking like they're a clearing bank, just from the transactions and the amount of, I guess, not endpoints, but, let me start over. Alright guys, so I'm going to just dive right into this one. I'm going to go over the Swiss custody domain real quick that's on Lobster. I'm just hearing a lot of doubt on the legitimacy of the assets, right? It does seem too good to be true, to be honest, and it's hard to kind of find information on this, so that kind of tells me they're hiding something. There's a lot of not red flags, I mean, there's a couple red flags that I found, but there's mainly positive things that I found that support this being legit. So I guess what I'll do is I'll show you. I might do a second part to this, but I'm just going to show you this real quick. This is probably the quickest way to kind of get you guys to think about this. So this PDF file here, I already had it from about a month or two ago that I pulled up from the TOML file for Swiss custody. I think it was 2 months ago that I found this, but I already knew this right here. As you can see, they're tied into a transfer server, right? So right off the bat, it'd be dumb for them to try to commit any type of fraud, right? Because in order to be hooking up to these transfer servers like this, you gotta give more information. It's not just like creating an account and getting a public key. You actually have to fill out not forms, but you gotta put information that pertains to your business. So that was the first thing that kind of got me not interested, but I guess looking more into it, right? Now let me see. As you can see here, right? So here's some of the assets. You can see. Let's go to, what's a good one? We can compare. That's a good one. Let's go. Where's the oil? See if I can find the oil. Pamp. Okay, I don't see the pamp. I don't see the oil here. But let's do. I don't know. Let's do this one right here. Let's do this one here. The 100-ounce gold NFT, right? So. This is on that domain, Swiss custody, right? But if you look at here, right, if you look at where it says is anchored, right? False, right? Anchor asset type commodity, right? So basically, here they're sending in a string variable. That's what these quotes signify, right? So this can be, somebody can type certain things into it that aren't necessarily something that's like a base, I guess, word that they use, right? Like it's not something that everybody's using, right? They can kind of customize, not a lot, but you can customize a little bit. But this right here, they're sending in a boolean, right? Which is basically if something is true or false. So this input right here specifically is tied into some kind of condition, right? So it's not something that, like, you know, is as anchored. You can put true. It's not something you can just put true and it not do something different than you intended, right? So because it's false, it gives a certain status to that type of I guess input, right? So it false, it's false. If it's true, it's true, and that you're sending in a boolean that basically a condition, right, for whatever's happening on the back end, right? So now this, not just because it's false, right, doesn't necessarily mean that it's not legit, right? So you know, it just means that maybe they just haven't set that variable up yet, right? So there's a lot of things that it could be, right? But it's not a quick way to dismiss it, right? Don't dismiss the asset just because, you know, you're seeing a false on the variable input for the is asset anchored, right? All right, so let me see. Fast forward real quick to today actually. So I went and looked up. I was doing some digging again, right? And I pulled up this file, right? So it's the same. Basically, got it from the same method of searching the toml file, but this time, as you can see, it is way longer than it was originally, right? So let's go to the very top, right? Let's start from the top. And I ain't gonna go too deep in this, right? It's no point, but I'll be able to prove the point pretty quickly, right? So so right off the bat, so same setup here, right? It's still showing. Oh shoot, sorry. All right, so it's still showing the same domain setup here on the header, basically. As you can see, SWISScustody.org. Okay, SWISScustody. I think this might look a little different. No, actually, it's the same. It's the same. Disregard that, right? So, but you're still tied into the server, right? But the transfer server to the Anchor USD specifically API, endpoint API, right? So that looks pretty much the same, right? Now let's go down here where it gets a little more interesting. So first you have these, I don't know, these random domain or assets that were created, right? Every wallet will get free scam. This is I don't know what they're trying to do there, but it just seems like they're doing a lot now to try to make us think that it's not legit, to be honest with you. But let's see. So they added all these new assets. You got Bancoin, which I don't know if, I know King Troll he's active on Telegram. I don't know if he's already gone over this or not, but I don't know how he's involved in this now. I know they're AMMs, but I don't know. Anyways, so if you see, let me see. Right, so let's go here. Let's start off with, let's do a good one. So these are all domains that, I mean, assets that we've been buying, that we've been stocking up on for a while now, right? So this is one gold, right? Kind of like similar to the gold we were looking at earlier. Gold, okay, same setup. I haven't looked at the issuing address to see if that's changed, right? But as far as it being the gold, okay, so it's XAU, right? Now let's come down, right? Is asset anchored true, right? So that is what gives it away for me right there. Here it is. It's not a coincidence, right? So here it's your gold and commodity type of asset, right? It's not a coincidence that this is, I don't know how long this has been updated like this, but right, it's not a coincidence that it's happening now, you know, 2 months later from when I previously looked at this, when they're getting ready to launch the automated market makers next month. And let me show you guys something else. On top of that, if you take a look at this, 1 second, let me show you this file. I pulled this up earlier. Okay, so this is just to give you guys a little more clarity on what I'm talking about. So basically all those endpoints and stuff, right, that you see, all the API endpoints and stuff, they all work on like the servers. For example, the Federation server that I talked about at the top, they all work on the Stellar core, right? On the, basically you can consider it like the back end, right? It's what's happening in the background, right? So when you see some endpoints getting called, you know, that's what's happening right now. If I pulled this up earlier, I was looking through GitHub and looking at some of the operations, and not operations, but some of the different different calls you can make on the horizon for Stellar, and I was able to pull this up, right? Kind of gives you a quick snapshot of almost like the gives you an idea of what is going on with Stellar in terms of all of its protocol upgrades, right? And as you can see, look, they're already on the core, on the back end. You see right there, they're already running on the protocol 18 version, right? Current protocol version 17, right, for the public network. And then when you get to the back end, the core supported protocol version 18, right? So it was updated, and just for the proof, right, this was the ledger info from 10/14, right? So it's current, like as of a couple hours ago, right, from my time. Now if I come back to, let's go back to the original. All right, so now back to this, right? So and let me look through this a little more with you guys. So as you can see, right, they're all pretty much, and it wasn't like this 2 months ago, but they're all pretty much, let me see, pin, there you go. All right, so let's see right here. All right, so look, they're all anchored now. They're all anchored now. All anchored. Now look at this though. This is new to me. I haven't seen this before yet on here, so the fact that this is on here gives it away for me big time. Watch. So as you can see here, anchored. Okay, cool. Anchored. Commodity. All right, is unlimited. I don't know what this is supposed to mean, but whatever. I guess that could be just the whole unlock supply for now. I don't know if that's changeable. I haven't looked into that, but is S anchored true? Commodity, right? Let's see if I can find what I found earlier. So some of these say this. Watch. Anchored. Okay, India. Right. Alright, where you at? True fix, okay. Fix number, okay, so look, this is interesting. I don't know how this is working out with it saying a fixed number and it having a lot of supply. I don't really know how that, I'll look into that next, but let me see, where's the SPX, okay. Global derivatives. True. Here it is. Okay, so we have, here it is, right here, dude. Right here, UK property bond, right? And I saw this on a couple of them. Anchor asset type, bond, right? It's a bond, right? Saying that is asset anchored. True, right? Look at this one. Regulated. True. Approval criteria. You see what I mean? Like when did this come up? You know, like I don't remember seeing this before, right? So to me, I mean, that tells me that something's either getting ready to happen, or this is what the background information is going to just say until things happen or pop off. But I just thought it was very interesting, and I wanted to show you guys what I found. Not to tell you guys what to do with your money. That's the last thing I'm trying to do right here. I'm just trying to show you what I was able to pull up on some of this stuff regarding Swiss custody